Here we are again, by the campfire, pondering life, as one does. Happy Father's Day, everyone. My dad has gone to bed a few moments ago. But today I wanted to talk briefly about parenting styles, and I think it is very related to all the protests going on yesterday. I have a brief little story. A couple of years ago, I had stepped into a leadership position at my previous job, and I realized very quickly that there's a lot of similarities between being in charge of people at work and parenting techniques, parenting styles. And then I started seeing that everywhere. I see there's direct parallels between taking responsibility for yourself and your own life, making your life into one that's worth living, involves a lot of like reparenting yourself, taking responsibility for yourself the same way a parent would take responsibility for a child. Once you're an adult, you have to be your own parent, so to speak. I mean, your parents are still your parents, but it's different, right? They're not going to be. It is. They treat you differently, as they should, as an adult versus as a child. You know, at some point you have to grow up and be your own parent, so to speak. And I look at, I see parenting techniques everywhere now. I see it in self-improvement. I see it in leadership at work. I see it in leadership, or I see a lack of it in leadership in our governments. And I'm not just talking about the current one. I'm not just talking about America. And so it's an interesting reflection. It's something that's changed my perspective, is to see parenting techniques everywhere in all different contexts. And I find it absolutely baffling that there are so many people that think that critiquing parenting styles or parenting techniques is this completely off limits topic. Like, how dare you criticize my parenting techniques? Like, that makes zero sense to me. If anything, because like the children literally are the future of humanity. So like, if anything, parenting techniques should be the thing that is the most criticized, the most thought about, of like, how are we going to raise the next generation? How are we going to treat them, teach them, help them develop their culture, so that they can live happy, successful lives, right? Not just one-on-one directly in literal parenting, but leadership at work, leadership in government, leadership in community figures, in media, in having a positive influence on your friends and family and random strangers on the street. In every interaction you have, there's kind of this completely hidden, usually, dynamic of who's in charge, so to speak, of the interaction, and who is deciding where it's going. In other news, today is the first time in over 15 years I've seen fireflies at my parents' house. Very exciting. Question everything.